before we get started. What's up, babe? Man, just this camera's on. Scorpio lady, what's up? Man, family, we're gonna go ahead and get started. Man, on behalf of my mother-in-law, man, may God bless each and every one of you that, watch it, catch this live. And for those of you that catch it on a replay on YouTube, may God bless you as well. Man, it's muggy out here, man. Family, pray for me, man. I'm nervous right now. I'm nervous. There's a lot we're going to talk about today. There's a lot we got to get into. We're talking about alignment and meditation, a different perspective on alignment and meditation. Before we get into that, I've gotten a lot of comments and DMs asking me about, hey, Elijah, since you made that video about, man, our frequency and our energy and how we eat all these pollutants and toxic food. What are we supposed to do? How are we supposed to get our food? Where are we supposed to get our food from? Family, if you had the opportunity to start growing some food, man, you don't need much room. You know what I mean? You could grow food in a garbage can. I've grown potatoes, a bunch of potatoes in an old garbage can. You know what I mean? You don't need a lot of room to grow food. You know what I mean? And just get started growing something. What's up, Jose? Just get started growing something. You know what I mean? Man, obviously, the great majority of people live in the cities and they're dependent on the cities and the grocery stores. Man, and it is what it is. You know what I mean? Family, there's nothing wrong with going getting the food from the grocery store. You know what I mean? But whatever you get, whatever you eat, man, just make sure you clean it off good. Make sure you pray over it, that whatever's inside of it doesn't kill you. You know what I mean? What's up, Thomas? So, man, there's nothing wrong with going to the grocery store. Understand that we're not eating as healthy as we can be. You could cut out all the Burger King, the McDonald's, the Crack and the Jack, Jack in the Box, Taco Hell, and Burger Crack. You know what I mean? Burger King, all that other crap. You could cut all that shit out. You don't need that crap. Ain't nothing healthy about any of those places. You know what I mean? So, man, there's a whole lot of stuff that we could do. You could cut out all the dang sodas. You could cut out all the extra crap. You know what I mean? And when you go to the grocery store and you're buying all that stuff, what's up, Sean? Workouts. When you go into the grocery store and you're buying all that stuff, man, you don't have to go buy a bunch of potato chips. You don't have to go buy a whole bunch of processed meat. You know what I mean? That's toxic crap. And yes, I understand that's the cheap stuff. You know what I mean? And just think about this for a second. Why is it all the cheap stuff, the stuff that most of us buy, and it's the worst stuff for us? You know what I mean? So you can eliminate the great majority of that stuff. I'm not going to get on that soapbox, but I just want to share that. You know, there's nothing wrong with going to the grocery stores. What's up, Nate? Man, just pray over the food you get. Clean it. You know what I mean? And don't just automatically assume that, okay, because it's fruits and vegetables, man, I'm eating healthy and it's wooty-woo. Man, they got stuff on that crap. They got stuff on that to keep the bugs off of it. It's something I'm share with you guys. Again, I love gardening. Gardening is very therapeutic. And I've had to learn how to garden by just getting out there and doing it. And then I would go ask a bunch of people that was gardening, hey, what's up with this? What's up with this nursery? I would go out to all these nurseries and ask people about gardening techniques and the time and the seasons and all that other stuff. But I had to do the work. I had to do my own research. You know what I mean? If you get fruits and vegetables and they don't have bugs, if the bugs aren't going to those fruits and vegetables, there's something wrong with that fruit and vegetable. I'm going to say this again. The great majority of us, we don't understand this concept. We go to the grocery stores and we see all this fruit, all these vegetables, and it's always perfect. It's the perfect strawberry. It's the perfect orange. It's the perfect apple. It's the perfect stuff of greens wrapped together. You know what I mean? The perfect collard greens, mustard greens, and all this other stuff. It's like, hold on, wait a minute. How come there's no bugs on this stuff? How come there's nothing attached to this stuff? And the reason why is because we as in America, we don't want to see that crap. And so they spray all these chemicals, all these pesticides and herbicides and all this other stuff so that the bugs won't go to it. So that when it gets to the grocery store, it looks good for you. They put all this Miracle-Gro crap, which is poisonous for you. They put all this other crap in the ground to help this stuff grow. That crap gets in the fruits and vegetables. Just understand the crap that you eat. Understand what you're putting into your body. Understand that, you know what? We don't live in a perfect world. In the aspect of, man, everything's going to be perfect for us. People are looking out for us and all this other stuff. You know what I mean? We have to understand that, man, I'm responsible for what I consume. I may not have the opportunity to grow everything I consume, but I have to be intelligent and connected to God enough to say, okay, man, I might not want to eat this. You know what, man? Most places have farmers markets, you know what I mean? On Saturday and Sunday, maybe one day during the week, where your local farmers, local people that grow stuff, sell stuff, and it's more expensive. But it's more expensive because it's more healthier for you, because the great majority of them don't use the herbicides, don't use the pesticides, and all those other pollutants, Miracle-Gro, and all this other crap to make the crap grow pretty, to make it grow faster, to make it grow more in abundance. We have to be mindful of what we consume, okay? We live in a society that's all about making money as fast as possible. Just remember that, okay? I'm going to get into our conversation today. I'm praying that the weather maintains, man, it's supposed to be thundering and lightning, and I'm hoping that it doesn't mess up the Wi-Fi, or not the Wi-Fi, but the service, so we could go ahead and have the service, this conversation. Family, alignment and meditation. Years ago, I worked at a prison, and one day, these white guys came to me. A couple white guys came to me, and understand, I was in California at the time, Corcoran State Prison, and the prisons in California are very segregated in the aspect that there's always some tension, there's always some fights going on, okay, with the different races and the different groups within the prison system, okay. And so I'm a counselor there, and a couple of the white guys came up to me, and then I was in the office and I was doing some paperwork, and one of them said, "Hey, Elijah," and the other one standing at the door watching, making sure that nobody else came in or overheard the conversation, okay. And the other white guy came to me and he said, "Hey, Elijah, man, you're feeling sick. Don't come into work tomorrow." And I just looked at him. He's like, "That's all I'm gonna say. You're feeling sick. Don't come in tomorrow." And they left. And so I'm sitting there, and an ego kicked in. My ego kicked in. It's like, I know this guy. Why is he telling me what I can't do, what I shouldn't do? And at first I got in my ego. It's like, fuck this shit. I'm a grown ass motherfucking man. Can't nobody tell me what to do. What's up, Thorough Rocky? I'm gonna do what I want to do. You know what I mean? We're talking about alignment and meditation. So this white guy comes in and tells me not to come to work tomorrow. And at first I get in my ego, I get in my feelings, you know what I mean? I'm a grown ass fucking man. Ain't no another dude gonna tell me what I can and can't do. What the fuck, you know? And so a little while later, the breeze is picking up. I was telling you guys, man, this Hispanic guy, a couple of Hispanic guys came in and they were talking to me, and they're telling me the exact same thing, you know what I mean? And there were Southern Hispanics. And if you know anything about California, the Southern Hispanics and the blacks are always at war with each other. You know what I mean? Stay with me. The blacks and whites don't hang out in prison. The blacks and white guys don't socialize in prison. You know what I mean? And so it was weird to me that these white guys came and told me, "Don't come to work tomorrow." And then a couple hours later, a couple of Southern Hispanics came in, and they was like, "Hey, what's up, Eli? Man, hey, check this out, homie, man. Hey, don't come to work tomorrow, man. We just looking out for you. Don't come to work tomorrow." And so I'm sitting and I'm like, man, I'm tripping out. Why the hell are they telling me this? Stay with me. And so I'm kind of tripping, right? Because why is it that these people are coming telling me not to come to work tomorrow? Why the hell are they telling me this? You know what I mean? And so first thing goes through my mind is like, because I'm not a correction officer, I'm a substance abuse, anger management, domestic violence, we're counselors, right? And so I'm like, man, I'm not gonna go tell the cops, because where I'm from, we just don't do that. You know what I mean? We don't talk to cops, COs, none of that stuff. We ain't giving up no info. You know, that's just the way I was raised. You know what I mean? And so it's like, I'm not going to go tell that these guys are telling me not to come to work tomorrow, but I'm sitting there trying to understand it. We're talking about alignment and meditation. And so later on in the day, some of the blacks came and they were sitting around, they were just laughing and chopping it up in the office, like, what's going on, man? And so I didn't tell them what the white guys had told me. I didn't tell them what the Hispanic people had told me. And so they was like, hey, check this out, bro. Hey, don't come in tomorrow. I was like, what the fuck is going on? I was like, you guys ain't the first ones to tell me this. What the fuck is happening that y'all don't want me to come to work tomorrow? And so, again, ego is like, oh, somebody's trying to get me? You know what I mean? Fuck that. I'm bringing my ass to work. You know what I mean? I ain't scared of nobody. Fuck this shit. You know what I mean? That's what my ego was telling me. And they was like, no, it's not about that. It's not about that. There's like, Elijah, it's not about that. Calm down, bro. Man, it's some shit about to pop off in the yard. Don't come in tomorrow. You sick, bro. Just don't say shit. Just don't come in. We just looking out for you. We got mad love for you, mad respect for you. Just don't come to work tomorrow. I was like, all right, bet. And so I went home. The wind is like picking up crazy out here. And so I'm at home and I'm like meditating. I'm praying, talking to God, what the heck is going on? What the heck is going on? And so I'm getting ready to go to work the next day. And for whatever reason, my freaking truck didn't want to go. My freaking truck didn't want to start. And so I'm standing there and I'm like, oh my fucking God, really? You know what I mean? Really? And I totally forgot about what these guys had told me. And so I'm dressed, ready to go to work the next day. And it wasn't until after the truck wouldn't start. I'm sitting there trying to crank it, and it's not starting. And I'm like, fuck, now I gotta go in here and call these people and let them know I'm not coming to work. And then that's when it hit me. Elijah, they told you not to come to work. And so I go in, call them, tell them I can't come to work. My truck's messed up, it's not working, right? There was a big riot on the yard. And what I mean by a riot, a lot of the northern Hispanics and southern Hispanics got into a big riot. Over 300 inmates was caught up in this riot. People got their throats slit and just all kind of crazy stuff happened. You know what I mean? And so it was one of the biggest riots on the prison yard. And everybody was just like tripping, right? How the heck did this happen? They shut the whole prison down. There's like A, B, C, D, E, F, G yards, all these different yards. They shut the whole prison, all those other yards down, and had all these officers responding to my yard, to where all these northern Hispanics and southern Hispanics was going off at each other. Alignment and meditation. Excuse me just a second. Come on. I'm sorry. I'm trying to get this adjusted so that, man, the wind don't blow this over. And so I'm sitting there, and then when I go back to work the next day, car started right up. You know what I mean? And so I go in, and everybody is like shook still. A lot of the staff didn't show up to work that day. A lot of the CEOs had to go get counseling. So all the staff was up at the front of the yard in the administration offices. And they were all having all these psychologists and psychiatrists come in and counselors coming in and just counseling the free staff, not the inmates. The inmates all locked up, but they're counseling and talking to all the free staff of all the stuff that they saw. People got their throats split open. They ran out of pepper spray. They was taking a big, like the fire extinguishers, and just hitting inmates in the head with those, splitting their wigs, just all kind of crazy shit. And so these people were messed up having seen that. We're talking about alignment and meditation. See, family, a lot of times we're not in alignment, and an alignment comes in so many different ways. We think of alignment as just this one rigid way right here. God will talk to you any way he wants to get your attention. I've been telling you guys this like all week. God will use anybody to get your attention. God can use anything to speak to you. You have to be open-minded enough to understand that God's trying to speak to you. That's where alignment comes in at. But so many of us, we're so narrow-minded. We're so stuck and rigid in our thought process that we can't think outside of the box. Anything outside of the norm, man, that can't be God, because that's not how God talks to you. God can talk to you any way he wants to. Don't be so rigid, don't be so narrow-minded, and be a control freak demanding that God speak to you in a certain way and expecting him to just speak to you this way. And if he don't speak to you this way, then it's not of God. Had all these inmates coming to me and telling me, hey, bro, something's about to pop off tomorrow. Man, just don't show up. You know what I mean? Just don't show up. You know what I mean? We're looking out for you. People that would not speak to other people, different ethnicities, are coming to me and telling me, dude, there's some major stuff about to pop off. We don't want you in the crossfire. Don't even come in tomorrow. You know what I mean? It's not about you, but it's about this other crap that's about to go off. We just don't want you to get hurt, get caught up in this madness, in the mayhem. Don't show up tomorrow. I was watching a movie. Me and my queen, we just finished watching this movie, Purge, The Forever Purge, or something like that. Came out 2020. And it's a trip because in this movie, I don't know if you guys have seen this movie. It's a bad movie. You know what I mean? What I mean bad is it talks a lot about the stuff that I talked to you guys about. Man, and so the movie talks, you guys, most of you know about the Purge. It talks about how that there's one free day in America where you could just, 12 hours, you could just cause all the mayhem you want. You kill, beat the snot out of, rape, you steal, do whatever you want to do for 12 hours. You got 12 hours to do whatever the heck you want to do, and you won't get in trouble. Okay? You might get killed, but you won't get in trouble. Stay with me. And so in the movie, a couple of Hispanics, they're trying to get into America, and they go through this underground tunnel thing, and this little kid who's like showing them the way into America gives them this piece of paper, this card, and it has a rose on it, and he tells them, hey, if you get in trouble, follow the rose. Follow the rose. And so that seems so insignificant. As they get to America and they get set up, and years later they're living and working and doing what they do, and the purge kicks off. You know what I mean? The purge kicks off, and this is their first purge. And so now they're trying to survive the purge, and they're on this big farm or this ranch, big white ranch, and for whatever reason, this white guy whose father owns the ranch, he doesn't really care for the Hispanic people. They're good workers, but he don't want them there. You know what I mean? He really don't want them there. Stay with me. And so the father's talking to this Hispanic guy, and he tells him, man, I taught my son how to be a good American. We're talking about alignment and meditation. Stay with me. And so he said, I taught my son how to be a good American. What's up, Adrian? I taught my son how to be a good American. But then he says, I don't even know what a good American is anymore. See, because this is the trip. I love America. I don't understand. I don't give a crap about his government, but I love America. I love the land. I love the people. I don't love his policies. I don't love his hypocrisies. I don't love his bullshit. And so the guy's talking about, we're talking about being in alignment and meditation. And so this guy's sitting there talking about, man. And so when you sit there and you think about it, being a good American has nothing to do with being racist. It has nothing to do with being political. It has nothing to do with being religiously dogmatic. It has nothing to do with being homophobic. That's not a good American. You know what I mean? And that has nothing to do with being a good American. But for some reason in our country right now, there's a whole lot of bullshit going on to where you're only a good American if you're homophobic. You're only a good American if you're this part of the group, or if you're against this group, or if you're against this, if you're against abortion and you're for this religious belief. And there's all this stupid shit. Why am I talking about that? Because the truth is, so many of us, we're aligned to bullshit. We're not aligned to God. We're aligned to religious dogma. We're aligned to political bullshit. We're aligned to stupid and ignorant thought processes. That's what our alignment goes. That's where our loyalty lies. It has nothing to do with being connected to God. It has nothing to do with being in alignment with God. We're aligned to this group. We're aligned to this political leader. You cannot reach your full potential. You cannot be all that you came here to be in line to somebody else. You cannot reach your full potential. You cannot reach your full potential and do all that you came here to do, being political in that aspect. You can't reach your full potential being dogmatic and tied to this religious group. and spewing this religious dogma and damning everybody else that don't believe this dogma and against everybody else that don't have this understanding or don't have that belief system. That's not why we came here. We didn't come here to be fucking religious. We didn't come here to spew out some fucking dogma of other people. I don't give a damn who the president is. I don't give a damn what political party it is. My loyalty don't lie to no political party. It don't lie to no fucking group. What's up, Miss Rocky? My loyalty lies to the American people. And not just American people, but humanity. See, because to me, there is no America's better than the UK. There is no America's better than Ireland. America's better than Mexico. America's better than Russia. America's better than you. I don't believe that bullshit. I'm not attached to that bullshit. What are you aligned to? What are your beliefs aligned to? See, once you start to understand that shit, it's like, dang, you know what? I'm a conservative, and I'm always going to vote for conservative politicians. I'm always going to vote for Republicans. I'm always going to vote for Democrats. I'm always going to be a Christian. I'm always going to be a Catholic. I'm always going to be a Muslim. I'm always going to be this and that. Man, that's where we get fucked up at. Because our loyalty aligns to those people. And that belief system, and that has nothing to do with who God is. That has nothing to do with what God is trying to tell us. Where's your loyalty lie? Where's your loyalty lie? Does it lie to some political group? Does it lie to some political leader? Were you so Democratic that you voted for Barack Obama just because he was a Democrat? Are you so pro-black that you voted for Barack Obama just because he was black? Man, we got to wake the hell up. We have to wake the hell up. If you want to be reach your full potential and do all that you came here to do, man, you got to be aligned with God, not this other bullshit. You got to be aligned with God. You can't be aligned with God and aligned with all this other shit. I'm going to say it again. You can't have your loyalty going to the Democratic Party, your loyalty going to the Republican Party or the Conservative Party or to this Christian group or the Baptist group or to the Episcopalian and to the Methodist and all this other bullshit. You can't have your whole mind frame being attached to those groups, aligned with those groups, spewing the dogma and the bullshit that they spew, and then say that you're lying to God. You can't. You can't be so aligned to quote unquote America that you damn the rest of the world. I'm sorry for the breeze, man. It's like messing up my tripod, so I'm trying to hold it too. So the camera's shaking a little bit. I apologize for that. But you can't be so in love with America to where you're damning the rest of the world. You can't be America first and fuck the rest of the world. You can't be God bless America and damn the rest of those people over there. God bless America and God protect American soldiers and let's kill all those fucking Afghanis. God bless America and kill all those fucking Iraqis, because there's a lot of religious people talking that bullshit. I remember when we first went into Afghanistan. All these big preachers, all these big televangelists, all these big pastors of these mega churches wearing these American lapel flags and talking all this bullshit. God bless America. What the fuck you mean God bless America? Like God don't love anybody else unless they're fucking American? How fucking racist is that? We don't want God to bless our enemies. We just want God to look out for us like we're a fucking perfect country. How the fuck can you be racist? How the fuck can you be homophobic? How the fuck can you be sexist and all this other shit and talking about God bless America? And condemning and blasting everybody else to hell. And wanting God to kill the fucking Iraqis as though they don't have a soul. God, help us slaughter all those freaking Iranians and those Afghanistani and those All those Muslims and all those other people in those other countries, and how the fuck can you stand there in your fucking arrogance and ignorance and talk that bullshit and say that's God? As though God is fucking prejudiced because you prejudice. As though God don't love those people just because you don't like those people. And the only reason why you don't like those people is because your fucking government told you they were the enemy. Because your fucking politicians told you they were the enemy. And that's the only reason why you spew that shit against these other countries. The great majority of Americans don't go nowhere outside of America. Don't know shit outside of America. The great majority of Americans don't know shit outside their fucking state, outside their own fucking city. But we want to be so fucking self-righteous, so judgmental and condemning that we want to blast everybody else that don't believe with what our political group is telling us. And so we don't know shit about those countries and we're blasting them too. We don't know shit about those places and we're condemning them all to hell. We're perfectly fine with them getting slaughtered and killed by the thousands and tens of thousands. And we're okay with that. That's all right to us. It's better them than us. And that's our mentality. We have to grow up and understand that we're all the same. We're all God's children. Black people, white people, Hispanics, Native Americans, Asians, Europeans, it don't matter. We're all God's people. Until we grow up and get in alignment with God and start being connected to God, we'll never see that. We'll never understand that. We'll keep spewing this bullshit. I'm gonna move my camera a little bit. It's starting to rain, so I'm trying to get it up under the tree. So we gotta stop spewing this bullshit, family. We gotta stop spewing this bullshit and understand, man, we're all God's children. And God don't love Americans more than he loves anybody else. God don't give a damn whether or not you're an American or Russian or Ukrainian or Afghanistani or Iranian. God don't give a shit about that stuff. That's our bullshit. God don't give a fuck whether you're Baptist, whether you're Methodist, Seventh-day Adventist, Jehovah's Witness, Episcopalian, African Methodist Episcopalian. God don't give a shit about none of that. We have to grow up. We have to learn to get in alignment with God, not these fucking religious groups, not these fucking political groups that keep us divided and keep us arguing and fighting with each other. Anytime you got a group and somebody's telling you, man, this group right here, they're trying to steal your guns, and this group right here, they're trying to take your jobs, and this group right here, I'm standing out here in the rain, but it is what it is. I'm just hoping that my camera don't get messed up. This group right here, man, they're trying to take our jobs. And this group right here, they're trying to take our rights to have abortion. And this group right here, they want us to pay more taxes. And this group right here, they want to keep giving money to these other countries. And we're all fucking divided because these people keep telling us to be divided. And so we look at people different. We look at each other. We're born in the same country, speak the same language. And we're arguing and fighting with each other. But then we want to sit here talking about, man, I'm perfectly aligned with my chakras, and I'm anointed, and man, my third eye is open, and man, I'm this and that, I'm enlightened, and man, I'm blessed by God, and I'm highly favored. You speak all this bullshit, and you're fucking racist. We speak all this bullshit, and you're fucking homophobic. Me? Man, I don't give a fuck whether you like dudes or women. None of that shit matter to me. The only concern are they of legal age? Are they of the right mind frame? Do they have the right capacity? Can they make the decisions themselves to engage in this relationship with you? That's all I'm concerned about. But other than that, it ain't none of my fucking business. I don't give a fuck who you sleep with. Why do I have the right and why do I have to feel like I have the power to tell you that you should only sleep with black people? That's the most fucking racist and ignorant bullshit ever. Oh, we going in today in the rain. I don't give a damn. You know what I mean? We're going in. We have to grow up. And I know there's going to be some people that's going to unsubscribe and stop watching. No, I don't give a damn. The truth is the truth. Grow the fuck up. I have black women that I know, they can't stand when the black guy dates a white woman. They can't stand when a black guy dates a Hispanic woman. That pisses them the fuck off. And they look at you like you ain't shit now. Like you contaminated because you fell in love with a Hispanic woman or you fell in love with a white woman. But you want to be fucking spiritual. You want to be fucking enlightened. You want to tell everybody how you fucking woke. No, you fucking ignorant. Grow the fuck up. How the hell are you going to lead somebody? The only way you can lead somebody is down the same fucking rabbit hole you going down. It's that racist bullshit. We have to grow up. Try to cover up my camera, son. We have to grow up, family. We have to grow up. Stop the bullshit. Stop playing these fucking games. Man, we have to come back to ourselves and like, God, here am I. God help me. God help me. God, I've been led astray my whole life. God, I've been led to believe this bullshit my whole life. God, I've been told this, that my whole life. God, help me understand the truth. God, help me understand the truth. How the hell is it all these religious people talking about they know the truth and and they're fucking miserable? And they're spewing fucking division amongst the people. Anytime somebody's spewing division, man, that's not love. That's not God. It's coming down. Shirt soaking all, but it is what it is. You know what I mean? It is what it is. It is what it is. Man, as the rain is coming down, man, God just washed me. You know what I mean? Man, just wash all the crazy shit off of me. Wash all the toxic thoughts off of me. Wash all the racism and division and the stupid shit that I've been holding on to. Man, wash that shit away from me, God. We have to grow up. We have to grow up. Man, how do you get aligned with God? Man, you humble yourself. How do you meditate? Meditate. There's thousands of ways to meditate. My camera's getting wet. I'm going to move it back further in the trees. Hopefully that'll protect it some. Man, when I came out here, family, it was dry. It was just a little bit of clouds when I came out here. But it is what it is. You know what I mean? We ain't going to let that stop us. We ain't gonna let that stop us. Man, still hear me? Man, it is what it is. You know what I mean? It is what it is. Man, we have to grow up. We have to grow up. We have to stop talking all the stupid stuff. How do you meditate? How do you meditate? Man, you meditate. There's thousands of different ways to meditate. And man, you have all these religious, spiritual-minded people telling you that you have to sit there and go, And if you don't do that, then you're not meditating. There's other people tell you, man, you got to light incense and you got to light sage and you got to open up all your windows. You got to do what. You got to do all this religious, dogmatic crap just to meditate. No, you don't. No, you don't. We have to grow up. Meditating. How do you meditate? I get a lot of people, man, I can't clear my mind. I can't calm the noise. I can't, I don't know how to meditate because my mind won't be still. I can't stop thinking about this. Man, how do you do it? You think about something. You think about something else. You learn to control your mind by thinking about what you want to think about. What am I saying? Let me say it this way. There's so many different ways to meditate. Gardening, to me, is a form of meditation. Kung Fu is a form of meditation. Tai Chi is a form of meditation. Walking in the woods is a form of meditation. Walking on the beach is a form of meditation. You could be in your house, and if you like cooking, you could, man, just start cooking and just go into your realm. And what I mean, go into your, man, you just gone. You singing to yourself, you humming, and you grabbing your seasonings and just putting a pinch of this in, a pinch of that in, and you doing your thing, and you know you're a great cook, and you making something beautiful, and man, it smells good, and you know it's gonna taste good, and you just in your realm, you just in the zone. That's meditating. You could be in the shower and just go blank, just letting the water run down you, and it's just like, man, as the water's running down, man, your stress, your worry, all that crap goes. You ain't thinking about nothing. You just gone in the zone. That's meditating. You could put on some music and, man, just be out there just all by yourself and just be dancing and just feeling it, just going in and just like, man, this is my shit right here, and just feeling yourself. That's meditating. That's getting in alignment with God. That's all that is. You could be sitting there and just reading a book and be meditating. We got all these fucking rules of how you got to meditate. We got all these fucking rules of what you got to do before you meditate. We got all this stupid shit. If you don't do it this way, then you're not right. If you don't do this, then you're not right. If you don't do this, then it's wrong. And we'll do with all this bullshit to divide us, to make us feel like we're more spiritual, to make us feel like we're deeper than somebody else. We have to grow up. We have to grow up. Meditating. It's me sitting there, standing there, laying there, whatever you do. You could be in the gym and exercising, running on the treadmill, doing the elliptical, lifting weights, whatever you do, and you could be meditating. You could be in a swimming pool, just swimming laps, and that can be meditative to you. You could sit out up under the stars and just be staring it off into the sky, looking at the stars and the galaxy and all these other things, and that's a form of meditation. Meditating. Man, you quiet your mind. And what I mean by quiet your mind, see, so many of us think that, man, in order for me to meditate, I gotta stop thinking about all my stress and all my other stuff, what to do. And I can't stop thinking about that, because the more I stop thinking about that, the more I think about that. I'll say that again. The reason why you're so distracted, the reason why your mind is all over the place and you can't control your thought process is because you're trying to control your thought process. Stay with me. The more you think about not meditating, or the more you think about not thinking about all the stuff, the more you think about all that stuff. You can't stop thinking about that stuff by thinking about that stuff and trying to stop thinking about that stuff. Put it a different way. Laws of attraction. What you think about, you bring about. What you think about, you bring about. So if your focus is on not thinking about all this stuff, that's where your focus is at. And so you're going to keep thinking about that stuff because that's where your focus is at. What you think about, you bring about. So if you're focused on not thinking about all this crazy stuff, if you're focused on not thinking about all these other things that's pissing you off or stressing you off, that's your focus. Your focus is on not dealing with that stuff, not thinking of that stuff, not thinking of the past or whatever it is that you're thinking about. The more you think about how can I stop this, and the more you stop trying to think about those things, the more you'll think about those things. So how do you stop thinking about those things? Intentionally think about something else. When you like cooking and you're in your realm and cooking is your thing, that's your specialty. And you throw down in there. You got your music playing and you just throwing your seasonings in and you tenderizing your meat or whatever it is you're doing and you just going in and it's just like you're zoned out. You're not thinking about all the crazy shit that you was thinking about. Why? Because your focus is on what you're doing. Your focus is on the seasoning. Your focus is on preparing this meal. If you're working in the garden, man, your focus is on turning the ground over. Your focus is on doing this and that. Your focus is on not all that other stuff. You're intentionally focused on where you're at. You're in the present moment. There's a book of The Power of Now. So that's where your focus is. What am I doing now? You're going through the motions of Kung Fu or Tai Chi, and you're thinking about the movements, and you're thinking about how can I go slower, and what does this move actually mean? What's the spiritual application of this move? That's your focus. And so you're not thinking about all the other crazy stuff. You got on some music, and this is your jam, and man, you ain't thinking about nothing else because, oh man, that's my jam. You tune everything else. You ain't thinking about nothing else but the song. That's your jam. You can't dance, you can't sing, but you up just, oh, that's my shit right there. Damn, that's my shit. Man, you going in. That's meditating. But we've been so programmed, we've been so hoodwinked to think that, man, to meditate, I have to sit there and I have to think about my breathing. I have to sit there and I got to just clear my mind of all my thoughts. No, meditating is, I'm coming into the present moment. Meditating is, man, I'm coming in to the here, to the now. I'm not tripping off the problems. I'm not tripping off the issues. I'm not tripping off anything else. I'm in the present moment. I'm coming into the now. And I'm focused not on the drama, not on the pain, not on what I'm losing, not on my fears, not on none of that stupid shit. I'm focused on, man, what it is that I'm doing that makes me feel good. What is it that, man, this is my realm. This is, some people, man, they're going, they like drawing and they start drawing and, man, they lose time. They lose track of time. They're drawing and like my beautiful queen, man, she likes coloring, painting rocks. She's a great artist, but she loves coloring rocks. And so she's, or not coloring, but painting rocks. And so she get these rocks and man, she'll paint them. And she's sitting there thinking about what she's going to draw on it. Or she's thinking about what she's going to put on it and the color scheme she's going to use. And man, she goes into her realm. She goes into her element. She loses track of the time. Man, she just, she just boom, boom, boom. And man, she has a masterpiece when she's done. That's all meditation is. But we've made it so fucking spiritual. We made it so fucking deep. We made it so deep that we completely missed it. And we made it so deep, the average person don't think that they could do it. And so they stop doing it. Oh, that's too hard for me. I can't do that. And so they don't do it because we've mystified it so much. We've made it so fucking religious, so fucking unattainable. You can sit there in a bath and draw a nice hot bath water. Got your rose petals in it if that's what you want. Got the candles going if that's what you want. Got the incense going if that's what you want. Some nice music in the background. And you're just sitting there. You got a glass of wine if that's what you drink or whatever. And you just sitting there in the bath and just soaking it up and just, you're relaxed. You're relaxed. You're not tripping off all the bullshit. You're relaxed. You can feel the stress just leaving your body. That's all meditation is. We're different. Each of us is different. For you, it might be painting. For you, it might be composing music. For you, it might be playing a musical instrument. For you, it might be working out. For you, it might be swimming. For you, it might just be taking pictures in nature. For you, it might be a nice walk along the beach. For you, it might be sitting there. For you, it might be singing. It might be dancing. It can be anything that helps you relax. See, when you get relaxed, now you can get inspirational. When you get relaxed, man, now God is able to speak to you. And now you're able to hear God because you're not distracted with all the bullshit. See, most of us, we can't get aligned with God because we don't know how to clear our mind. We can't get aligned with God because we don't know how to meditate. Because we're so fucking religious. We're so fucking dogmatic. We're trying to force something that don't need to be forced. It's natural. You already do it. You just don't know that you're doing it. Let me say it again. Meditating. It's as natural as you breathing. You don't think about breathing. You just breathe. Because it's natural. Meditating has become so mystical to the great majority of us because religious people have demonized it and said that's some Eastern cultural bullshit and that's demonic and satanic and all this other bullshit. And so they told you not to meditate. They don't even understand that they meditate. They just don't realize that they're meditating. Even the scriptures say, meditate on these things. Whatsoever is good, whatsoever is pure. The scriptures tell them to meditate on this. What is this? Man, whatever is beautiful, whatever is pure, whatever is loving, meditate on these things. Why? Because if you're meditating on these things, then you're not meditating on some drama and some chaos and stress. Meditating. The late Dr. Miles Monroe said, meditating is you listening to God. Is you listening to God. As long as you're talking, as long as you're focused on all the stupid stuff, as long as you're focused on your baby daddy, your baby mama, your job, and all the hell, the business, the money, the lack of food, as long as you're focused on all this other stuff that you can't control right now at this moment, as long as you're focused on all this other crap, you can't have peace of mind. You can't have joy. You can't be in alignment with God because your mind is distracted with all this crazy stuff. Getting in alignment. Understand that so many of us, we're aligned to stupid stuff. So many of us, we're aligned to our toxic ass families. And what I mean by that, man, family above all, family first. I don't give a damn what they doing. I don't give a damn if they all doped up, if they strung out. I don't give a damn if they messy and trifling and ratchet as fuck. Family first, and that's why you're so fucked up emotionally. Because you got this concept, you got this attachment to family first. Everybody in your family is fucking toxic. Everybody in your family is fucking negative and messy as fuck. And that's where your loyalty lies. That's where you're attached. That's where your alignment is. And you're wondering why you ain't got no peace. You're wondering why, how come I can't hear God talk to me? Because you put family above everything. You put family on peace of mind. May we understand that meditating and getting in alignment with God is not something religious. It's not something dogmatic. You could change it up anytime you want to. Just because you like dancing, man, you may not want to dance today. You may want to go get on your knees and just sit there and just sit in the sun or sit in the stars or whatever you do. I'll sit in the sauna, man, it's 180 degrees in there. I'll sit in the sauna and just close my eyes and I'll be there for an hour. Sweat dripping down me, clothes drenched wet from the sweat, and I'm just gone in the meditation. Because when you meditate, it's not about your circumstances. Let me say this again. Years ago, meditating is not about your circumstances. Okay? Getting in alignment with God is not about your circumstances. Years ago, when I started meditating, meditating was, man, I had my own room that I had as my office / study room / meditation room. And I had all my books in there and all my CDs and all that other stuff, right? And I would go in there and I would just lay on the ground and I would just meditate, right? I would light some sage up in there or burn a couple of incense in there. And I would just sit there and just bask in the dark and just meditate. And so I'm blocking out the whole world and I'm in this room and I'm not focused on nothing else. I'm just here in the moment in this room. And man, great meditation times. Stay with me, I'm going somewhere. And so, man, a few years ago, about a year or two ago, I flew out to Georgia and visit my son, and he was graduating from high school at the time. And I was going back to California, and man, they put me in a plane and they had me around all these kids, like a couple babies and like 3 or 4 toddlers. And man, we're flying over Texas and the kids start screaming and crying because the turbulence, the plane was shaking and the kids' ears were popping and all this other stuff. So they're screaming, they're just all, oh, man. And I mean, I'm completely surrounded. Kids in front of me, kids right behind me, on the side of me. And it's just like, oh my gosh, right? And so God was telling me, like, Elijah, meditate, relax, you're good. And I'm sitting there like, how the heck can I be good with all this noise? How the heck can I be good in the midst of all this chaos, in the midst of the plane shaking, in the midst of all these babies and kids screaming and crying and whoop doo doo? And it dawned on me, and God showed me something. Elijah, you don't learn how to meditate just so that you can be good in the privacy of your own home. You learn how to meditate in the privacy of your own home so that you can learn how to do that out in the world. Stay with me. Let me say it again. Elijah, the meditation that you do on the ranch, that's great. That was to prepare you, not just to be in isolation and meditate, but so that you could be in the midst of chaos and be able to meditate. So if you learn how to meditate here in the quietness of your own home, the quietness of your own apartment or studio or whatever it is where you meditate, if you can learn how to quiet yourself and meditate there, then it don't matter where you're at. You could be on your job in the midst of hell and just quiet yourself. You could go to the bathroom on your job and just quiet yourself. You could be on a plane surrounded by people and all the noise and yeah, and none of that affects you, none of that bothers you, and you just learn to go into yourself and just go into this meditative state and everything is fine. That's the purpose of meditating. It's not just so that we can go calm ourselves in the midst of our own home. It's so that no matter where we're at, no matter what we're facing, man, we could go within and we could just like, man, I'm not going to get anxious. I'm not going to get stressed out. I'm not going to let this worry me. I'm not going to let this get me on one. I'm not going to let this rile me up. Because I'm a walking meditation. What I mean, man, I got God with me everywhere I go. Because I got God with me everywhere I go, if I'm aligning myself to God everywhere, I should have peace everywhere I go. I should have joy no matter where I'm at, no matter what my situation is. I can have peace of mind, regardless of my finances, regardless of how crazy stuff is going. I can have peace, knowing that it's all good, knowing that it's going to work out. That's the whole purpose of meditating. It's to help us get in alignment so that we could trust the process, so that we could trust God, so that we don't have to trip and wig out, man, when you get that final notice in the mail. So when the boss is just talking all this crazy stuff, you're like, all right, God, what is it? Where do you want me to go? What do you want me to do? You don't have to trip out. You don't have to lose your mind. But you got to do the work. You got to do the work first. You got to get to that point. You see, so many of us, we want to just jump to that point. We want to go from A to Z, like now. Understand, it's a process. At home, that's your training ground. In your own room, in your own apartment, studio, wherever you at, and you're meditating, that's your training ground. So when you're out in public, you're on a train, you're in a plane, you're in a classroom, you're on a job, no matter where you're at, man, I'm good. I'm a walking meditation. People could see the peace. People could see that, man, there's something different about this person. It's not just that they wear crystals, man, because you don't have to have crystals on and people see, man, there's something peculiar about this person. Man, there's something different about this person. There's something mystical. There's something magical about this person. What is it that this person has? Why does this person's aura just glow the way it do? Why is their energy so vibrant? Man, how is it that this person can walk in the room and their energy precedes them? They walk in this room and everybody stops and looks at them. Their energy commands attention. Not to floss, not to pop the collar. Your energy commands attention because you're here to be noticed, to be recognized. Man, there's something about this guy that I want. There's something about this woman that, man, I just got to be in their presence. I just got to talk to them. I just got to touch them. I just got to see if they're real. What is it that makes them like they are? It's the fact that they put in the work. They've been meditating. They've been doing the work. They're connected to God. So many of us, we can't see when people are connected to God because we're not connected to God. And so we see them, and I get all these religious people telling me, man, you look like you one of them. You look like you're the enemy, and the devil's using all this other stupid bullshit because they see me rocking crystals. And that's their issue. That's their issue. That has nothing to do with me. That has nothing to do with me. That's their spiritual level. That's their spiritual ignorance. I know who I am. I know the work that I put in. I know who I'm aligned with. I know who I'm connected to. And because I know that, man, I ain't got to argue with people. I ain't got to try to defend my name. I ain't got to, man, you say I'm this, that, man, okay, that's your opinion. I don't care. You're entitled to that. That's not my issue. I don't care. Because I know who I am. Because I know who I'm connected to. I'm not going to start arguing with them and lose my connection to God just to prove a point to them. just to get on their level and start going back and forth with them. Because we make a conscious choice at that time to lose our connection with God, to be connected with them. I'm gonna say it again. You could be connected to God, be in peace and walking in joy and happiness, and somebody cut you off, and you lose your connection with God. You lose your cool. You lose your spirituality. You lose your anointing, whatever you say you got, and you start going left on them. You want to fight, slap the shit out of them. You want to get out your car, you ready to do all this crazy shit because you allowed this person to come into your life, and God wanted to show you something. Stay with me. God wanted to show you, look, Elijah. And there's been times I get on one, you know what I mean? I got on one, you know what I mean? Many times I got on one, you know what I mean? I'm from the hood, we get on one, you know what I mean? And so, man, man, fuck this shit, man, let me get on my, you ready to do some stupid shit. And God is like, Elijah, man, look how quick you flipped. Look how quick you switched up. Look how quick you kicked me to the curve. You kicked our connection to the curve to be connected to them and their ignorance. They said something you didn't like. They did something you didn't like. And you allowed that to disconnect you and I so that you could get on their level and tell them or give them a piece of your mind. So you could get on their level and make them feel bad about the stupid shit they just did. Because your ego got you that fucked up. Man. We have to learn how to meditate. You already know how to meditate. You have to remember. That's the key word. That's the correct word. That's the correct phrase. We have to remember how to connect to God. We know how to do it naturally, but we forgot. We've forgotten who we are. And so we're focused on all this other bullshit. Man, let me go read a book. Let me watch all these videos on meditating. Let me watch all these videos on woo-doo-woo-doo. And God has said, man, all you got to do is ask me. I'm right here inside of you. All you got to do is ask me. Why are you asking everybody else's their fucking opinion? All you got to do is ask me. Elijah, I'm right here with you. Elijah, I see what you're struggling with. Elijah, I see your fears. I see your concerns. I see your stresses. Elijah, I hear you. Why do you value the opinion of all these other people that don't even know you? And I'm right here with you. And you won't even come and talk to me. You're going to get connected to all these people. You don't know their motives. You don't know why they're telling you this stuff. You don't even know if this stuff is legit. But you're willing to take a chance when you can sit and talk to me. You know that I'm God all-knowing. You know that I know everything. I see everything. And yet you won't get in alignment with me. Man. Learn to kill the noise. And you don't kill the noise by thinking about the noise. You learn to kill the noise by thinking about something different. You learn to kill the noise by putting your focus on something beautiful, something inspirational, something that's going to help you get into the zone, your zone. Kobe Bryant, man, getting on the basketball court, that was his zone. On the basketball court with the basketball, and they said, man, he was zoned out. That was his element. Whatever is your element, whatever is your realm, Whatever gets you in that zone, it's there to get you in the zone, because that's a tool. That's a meditative tool for you. That's a natural meditation tool for you. But because we don't know who we are, we don't understand that. And so we're looking for all these other answers, because it can't be this simple. We don't believe it could be this easy. Family, it's as easy as you make it. It's going to be as complicated as you make it. My hope and prayer, you stop chasing everybody else. You stop chasing answers externally. You learn to come within. You learn to communicate with God. You learn how to listen to God. Because then you'll get your answers. And yes, God can use different people. God will use different people. God will use different people. But God will also speak directly to you. A lot of times when God is using all these other people, it's because you're not in a place where you can hear God speaking to you. Because you don't have a connection with God. You're not in alignment with God. And so he has to use all these external people, these external things to show you and to tell you something. And sometimes he'll use them just to confirm what he's already told you. God will tell you something in your spirit and you innately know this. You don't even know how you know it. You just know it because God has spoken that into you. And so you'll be out in nature and you'll see something or you'll hear something or somebody will drop something and somebody will say something to you. And it's like, that's what God just told me. God just showed me that the other day. God just told me that this morning. And so God is using these things and these people to show you, hey, I am hearing from God. Hey, I can hear from God. Man, God can talk to me. Why? The trust. The trust that I am connected to God. Now I'm able to trust my intuition a little bit more. I'm able to trust that voice when I hear it now. Because he used these different people, these different things as confirmation. And so I'm able to trust and believe myself that much more. But we should not ever have to go looking externally. We do that because we don't have the trust and the connection with God like we need. Man, I love you guys. I love you. My shirt is like drenched, but it is what it is. You know what I mean? I love you guys. I love you guys. Man, it's not a sin to meditate. It's not demonic to meditate. You know what I mean? That's not witchcraft or all that other stupid shit that all these ignorant people talk about. You know what I mean? Man, you got to let that stuff go. You have to let that stuff go. Because if you don't, it's going to keep you messed up. It's going to keep you confused. It's going to keep you stuck. It's going to keep you stuck. Man, if there's anything that you would like for us to talk about, and I hope that this was, man, I gave you guys a different perspective on meditating and being in alignment. Man, if there's anything else that you would like to talk about or you want us to talk about, man, just say something on the live, you know what I mean? Comment on the live or go to the YouTube video and just comment on that. And either my wife or I'll see it. And we'll make sure that we'll get that brought up within the next week or so. Okay? Man, if you'd like to support the channel, man, you could do that. You know what I mean? Financially, share the videos, whatever you want to do. Man, you know, man, to each their own. You know what I mean? I thank you guys. I love you guys. Man, stop getting distracted. Stop getting distracted. Okay? Stop getting distracted. I love you. Happy healing. Namaste. The God in me sees, recognizes, acknowledges, and cherishes the God in each and every one of you. Happy healing. Peace.